Thank you and welcome to this tutorial. In this video, we will go over this Excel sheet framework. This is a framework that I created to summarize and analyze information or data that you may read and extract from research articles when you are doing a literature review. And I have used the Prisma framework. I have also used the PICO framework to create this table. So let's go over this Excel framework. You can easily create a similar one for yourself when you are reading papers for a literature review. Starting from the corner, let's say, so you can put a heading that says article number. So it becomes, in this example, this becomes article number 1. In this section, I created this heading called country where the study is done. So in this example, this study was done in Italy. Then you have the title of the study, and you can simply copy and paste from the paper that you are reading. And you have a column for the authors and the year of publication. And moving along, you have the objectives or aim of the study. And in this example, the paper that I used was a systematic review, and the title was Review of Risk Factors for MDR-TB in European Countries. The next important information that we'd like to have is the study design. For example, the paper could be a clinical trial. It could be a case control study or cross-sectional study. It depends on the paper that you are reading, of course. In this example, it was a systematic review, and that's what I put in this column. The next one is the study population. This is the P in PICO framework population, and this is where you put in the study population characteristics. And in this example, I summarize the characteristics as patients diagnosed with MDR-TB. And next column is intervention. This is where you highlight or include an intervention that was applied to the study population to assess a treatment or to assess a program or to assess a diagnostic test. So for our example, it was a TB treatment. And the comparison group was patients with drug-sensitive TB. Note that I am following the PICO framework. So we have looked at I for intervention in the previous column here, in this one, this section. And then the next column here is the O in PICO, which is the outcome or study outcomes. And in this example, the outcome that the paper was looking at was to identify the risk factors for drug-resistant TB, including MDR-TB in the European countries. And this column here is for the results of the study. You can read your paper and put in the summary results. So what I do is I simply copy and paste the key results from the abstract into this column. And the next column that I usually like to have is to just mention any statistics or any type of analysis that was done, if it is a quantitative study, and mention the statistical tools that were used. If you are looking at qualitative study, you can also include the analytical framework or analytical tool that were used. And conclusions, which of course is one of the key information that you want to extract from your paper when you're doing a literature review. And I also have a column that highlights other important findings or other important key information that you'd like to include that you think is relevant for your literature review or to highlight. You can highlight those either from the results section or from the discussion section and put them here in summary notes. And I also like to include the recommendations by the authors in the paper that I read. I sometimes find it useful information to have when I am beginning to write my literature review. Most papers will have will highlight gaps or will show or will indicate areas for future research, and this is a section where you can also include. That's something that you may need when you are writing your literature review. And next column I have is the strength of the study, or even your critical assessment. You can put in here. In this example, I only included a systematic review, assessing the strength or the limitations of a study. You can extract those information from the paper that you read. For example, in this column that I have your weakness of the study, it could be the limitations of the study. And these are usually highlighted in the paper that you read. So towards the end of the discussion section, you will see the authors highlighting the limitations of the study. So when you get those information, you could summarize them and put them in a column like this. And for the strength of the study, you can put in your own critical assessment of what the study was good at. And finally, at the end, I have a column for additional comments or remarks. And this is pretty much the kind of information that you'd like to collect or to summarize or to extract when you are doing a literature review and you are reading multiple papers. It can be a very daunting task to read a lot of papers and trying to keep a track of what you are reading, what is important, and how do you organize your information. And I find having a framework like this, or a table or a tool like this, helps you to read your papers faster, and also helps to really focus and strategize your reading, so that you are extracting the key information as well as those information that are relevant that you could use to then summarize and write your literature review. So after going through all your papers that you have read and summarized, it could be up to 20, 30, 50 or more papers, and you have it outlined in a table form or a framework like this, then you have the information all summarized in a nicely labeled table like this, and you could filter and look at themes or trends and start analyzing and summarizing key points that you can use in your literature review. So this is just a short tutorial. I hope it has been useful to you. Please share and like the video if you find it useful.